Hi everyone, my name is Jenny Mashiringani Monjero and I am one of the co-chairs of the Community Action Engagement Subgroup working on the assessment of local wellbeing and need across Cwm Taf Morgannwg. Last week we launched our engagement subgroup weekly meetings and we were thrilled to see such a diversity of members in attendance, all of whom were passionate about ensuring voices across our communities are heard, listened to and actioned appropriately as part of the assessment process. And we were excited to share all of the opportunities that are currently being developed to make this happen. As well as sharing what we've got going on, we were also excited to listen to and explore the ideas and good work our members are doing, all the things that they are up to, so that we can expand these opportunities so that even more people can get involved in a way that suits them. To kick off our meeting, we took a quick look at the newly developed communications and engagement plan created specifically for this project. Within this plan, we are focusing on 3 key areas, and that is to identify, to involve, and to keep informed. When we talk about the identify area, what we are looking for is to identify key champions across our region who are willing to champion the voices of residents and ensure the work we are doing through the assessment process is meaningful, purposeful and effectively reflects the needs, experiences and wishes of our communities. We also want to identify communication and engagement opportunities that are happening across the region that can help support us in reaching as many residents as possible. Our next focus area is to encourage involvement and meaningful engagement of residents by offering them a range of different opportunities to take part in and a range of ways they can share their stories and experiences with us. We want to be creative and innovative in how we involve residents and communities, doing things differently so we can find out what really matters to people, and most of all, we want to have fun. We want to make sure that the people we involve and engage in this process see it as something that is good and that it will benefit them, their friends, families and neighbours. Finally, we want to keep people informed. From some of our previous work, we know that a lack of feedback and not knowing what happens to the information people share with us is something that stops residents engaging. So we want to make sure that everyone is as fully informed as possible. And this is why we're trying to be as transparent as possible by giving you these weekly video updates. There are lots of ways residents can keep themselves informed of what is going on, including through the dedicated web pages on the Regional Partnership Board website, through our social media channels and through direct contact with the engagement subgroup support team. If you would like to see a copy of the full plan, please get in touch using our hello@ctmregionalpartnershipboard.co.uk email address and we will get a copy over to you. As part of this communication and engagement plan, we also explored who our key audience is. To help us navigate this, we completed a Jamboard to identify who was in the room, what skills and knowledge they could bring to the table, and who was missing. For those identified missing voices, the subgroup support team have been busy making connections to try and ensure that they have the opportunity to be part of our work moving forward. We then heard from members from RCT People First, who told us about their fantastic engagement activities with people with a learning disability across the region through their What Matters to Me Now roadshow. Lynn Evans, Director of RCT People First, told us that through their roadshow they engaged with 75 people with a learning disability and that they were working hard to analyse everything that people had told them. They even had a film crew on site at every location through the roadshow, and we look forward to seeing the finished video as well as hearing about the things that are most important to people with a learning disability in our region. Members in attendance at our weekly meeting were then asked to feedback any engagement opportunities they had coming up. A timeline of engagement opportunities is currently being created and the subgroup support team are on hand to attend events and help add value to feed into the assessment process. The group then discussed innovative and creative ways to widen our engagement efforts over the next 3 months. Bravan Mashiringani, the Black, Asian and Minority Ethnic Engagement Officer for Merthyr Tydfil at Voluntary Action Merthyr Tydfil, then gave an update of his experience of being involved in the new CTM Community Voices podcast series that is due to be launched week commencing the 6th of September. The engagement subgroup support team are actively looking for community members to be part of this podcast series, and anyone who would like to be involved in this piece of work is encouraged to get in touch using the hello@ctmregionalpartnershipboard.co.uk email address. As a continuation of engagement activities coming up for the weeks ahead, I then introduced to the group the Citizen Priorities Engagement Toolkit. Last year, as we reviewed the impact of COVID-19 on our communities, the Our Voice Matters project, on which I am the Regional Engagement and Co-Production Coordinator, developed a set of citizen priorities based on the interactions the project has had with residents across the region, both pre-lockdown and during lockdown. The final 2020 report outlined citizen priorities for 5 groups: children and young people, older people, people with a learning disability, people who access mental health services, and parents and unpaid carers. This year, as part of the assessment process, we want to revisit these priorities as well as develop priorities for other groups across our communities. We have developed an engagement toolkit for our engagement subgroup members as well as other officers and professionals working across our region to facilitate activities with residents and gather information to help us understand regionally what matters to people and what their top priorities are for the future. The toolkit is being launched on the 1st of September for a 5-week period, and we are encouraging as many people as possible to use it. The engagement subgroup support team are on hand to help by providing delivery support, advice and guidance so that the toolkit can be used effectively. The engagement subgroup have also been tasked with developing a second toolkit based around the 4 pillars of wellbeing, which are cultural wellbeing, social wellbeing, environmental wellbeing and economic wellbeing. And this is planned to be launched week commencing the 20th September and will also be run for a 5-week period. So as you can see, there is lots going on and lots to get involved in. If you are not a member of the engagement subgroup and would like to be, please get in touch using hello@ctmregionalpartnershipboard.co.uk, pop in engagement subgroup membership into the subject heading. If you or anyone you know or work with would like to get involved in any of the other engagement activities going on, then also drop us an email using hello@ctmregionalpartnershipboard.co.uk, as we would love to connect and find out how we can support you to be involved in a way that suits you. Remember to keep an eye on our Regional Partnership Board social media pages and website for further information, and we look forward to seeing you soon.